For my current event, I wanted to talk more about the 2060 project. So the 2060 project is the Chicago Cubs renovation project for Wrigley Field, their home ballpark. Um, so this has been like a big. Why I want to go into this because being from that general area, I kind of grew up by Wrigley Field, and I just wanted to like the project itself is close to home, and I saw this article a while back dealing with the security issues that are going into the 2060 project. And this was new to me because pretty much everything going out into the media and publicity with the 2060 project is about renovations and modernization and tourism and how it's all going to play into each other and make jobs and such. I'll talk about that later though. But the article that prompted this initial search for the 2060 project was by Mark Gonzalez of the Chicago Tribune, and it was talking about security and how part of the 2060 project is to increase security at Wrigley Field. And this was interesting to me because, like I said, everything coming out of the media before this was renovation wise, and like we're going to build a jumbotron and we're going to increase bleachers and everything kind of more on the glamorous, glitzy side, not as much on the operational side. But being a giant like sports stadium, it's important to have security. So a few things that Gonzalez talked about in his article was how they plan on getting help from the CPD, the Chicago Police Department, and installing metal detectors and just creating like a perimeter around the field during game days and certain street closures during game days. This is all because of security issues. And what really prompted this was not only the ballpark's like aging like structure, but also the rise in popularity that the team has had in the past few years because of just having good seasons recently and being favored to be good again, as well as just like the overall time. Just there's been a lot of violent threats lately, just in the media. I'm sure you guys have seen, and they're just all unnecessary. So with a big sports event like baseball games where there's tons of people, they want to just make sure that people are safe because safety has been the first and foremost like concern throughout the entire 2060 project. So safety going into the 2060 project is both structural and operational. Operational being security-wise and implementing metal detectors and increasing police presence in the ballpark during game days to kind of just make sure any threats are subdued before even happening, as well as the structural safety aspect of renovating the park because it is an old and aging park and it can get dangerous if there's, just a falling apart ballpark with thousands of screaming fans everywhere. So the popularity in the team created congestion, and the congestion created concerns, and that's where all of the security issues are coming out of. But along with the security issues that Gonzalez talked about, he also talked about some of the other aspects of the 2060 project and how it will affect both the Cubs as a team, their organization as operationally being the owners, the Ricketts family, and the managers and coaches, as well as how it will affect Chicago. And going off of that, he focused on the security aspects, but he also touched on the others that I just mentioned. And I wanted to learn more about the 2060 project as a whole, so I went and looked up some other sources. And it's a very extensive project. It's over 500 million dollars. Sorry, over $500 million, and it's all this money is going towards renovating Wrigley. But it's cool because it's going to have a huge impact on the city of Chicago as a whole too. Because they're renovating it so much, it's going to attract a lot of tourism, and that's going to attract a lot of income and money just flowing around the north side of Chicago. Plus, there's a lot of job opportunities. There's over 2,000 additional job opportunities because of the 2060 project and its construction and everything. So that on top of the security issues was kind of what Gonzalez was talking about, and with addition to some other things that I looked up just to get a little bit more on it. Um, but overall, it's just I really like the project. Originally, being a Cubs fan and being just like really tied to the traditions of the park, it was kind of disheartening to hear some of the things that they were going to do with the stadium. Just adding some video screens, it just seemed, and like expanding the bleachers, it all seemed just like unnecessary, and like it would take away from tradition. That's just my personal opinion, but honestly, my opinions have changed after looking through a lot of sources to try and find more information on this because it genuinely did interest me. I did change my opinion. I think that the project overall is a great thing for the city of Chicago and the Chicago Cubs franchise. It's going to attract tourism, which is kind of unneeded because they're already like facing security issues because of how much congestion and popularity the team is facing right now. But it's going to attract tourism, and that's going to feed back into the economy. The local economy is expected to like see billions generated in income through the project, which is really cool. It's going to support a lot, and there's a lot of local businesses up in the Lakeview area where the field is that will be supported by this additional like attraction to the field. And the field, it was dated. It wasn't as structurally sound as it should be, so it's going to be a good thing that they're renovating it in all aspects, structurally and operationally, and not just like adding a glamorous aspect by like adding jumbotrons and expanding bleachers, but they're really like focusing on making it safe because it is such an old like field. So the steel structure and the foundation structure, it's all getting renovated to make sure that it is up to par, and it's a good deal. They really thought it all through, and it's a very cool opportunity for the city of Chicago to see the 2060 project happening.